Underdog Daily with the BadgeBros, Jon and Nez here. Apologies there. Slow start off the hop there. Someone decided to, at the most inopportune moment, to ring Nez's doorbell. So we had to calm down Mr. Good Boy over there. But we're good to go now. We are good to go. We got lots of things to talk about. I mean, we got NBA playoffs. We got NHL playoffs. We had some community wins last night. We got the new BBM 6. Can't believe it's the sixth iteration yet. Logo there. If you guys missed Off and On the Clock yesterday, we had a fun exercise to get prepped up for the draft tomorrow already. Holy smokes. That snuck up on us in a hurry. Big board season closing out here. I think it's about 97% right now. So get your last big boards in there. I know some of the bigger boards are still available there as well. But yeah, today, I mean, we are going to focus primarily on the 3-game hoops slate, the 8-game MLB slate. Maybe we cheeky puck model mixed in there, Nez. Yeah, I don't know, man. How you doing? It's a good time.
Doing well. I was hoping we were gonna get this BBM 6 payout structure in time for the show. And then so Underdog Drafts tweeted that they would tweet the payout structure, and then Daddy Underdog came in and said later today. So later today we got cucked. That was unfortunate. They're probably finishing up a graphic or something. But yeah, I have a doorbell, and it's nice because it's like a smart doorbell, so I can turn it off, which is great because I don't want my dog barking. So people don't give a shit, man. Some people come up and they'll knock on the door. There's a doorbell. Ring the doorbell. Ring the doorbell. And it's a solar salesman. Told him I'm running this house on gasoline, baby. Get your solar panels away from me.
This is Texas, bitch. We're trying to keep the landman alive out here.
The landman. You got a fucking diesel in this bitch. What do you mean solar? Trying to install a wind turbine on my house. Get out of here.
Yeah. Didn't you see the cutaway scene with what's the guy's name? What's the actor? Bobby Thornton or Billy
Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. There we go. Didn't you see the cutaway scene about wind turbines, man? It's gonna take years off this planet if we go electric out here. We just gotta keep running this natural gas.
I need to watch Landman. I've been meaning to.
It's all right.
I know it's just like Billy Bob. My dad loves it. It's a Papa Nez show for sure.
There's a couple of like really good scenes in it, like sprinkled in. It's kind of like eerily similar to Yellowstone, where there's like
it's the really same writer, right?
Yeah, really good scenes sprinkled in, and then the rest is just like, I don't know. It's like picturesque views and hot chicks. Like it's just kind of like
good music, like good side music or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh classic man. Formula. Yeah, that's how you play the hits out there. A bunch of GMs in the chat. Everybody rolling through some kind words coming in here. Best part of the day, BadgeBros, daily doses. Mad respect. Love that. Love this community so much. Nez, let's start with I think we'll go hoops, baseball, hockey, something like that. A little bit of loosey-goosey era out here because, once you talk about these rotations once or twice, it's just important to talk about some potential changes taking place and that sort of thing. And I'm not anticipating any, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I'm not anticipating anything crazy stark in the NBA streets today. So let's have a little fun and let's start with the new BBM 6 logo there, given that V1 with the seams there. It looks like someone's going to pick this thing up and fucking spin it over them mountains over there, eh, Nez?
Oh, it looks like it. Looks like a very clean logo. Very clean logo. I like it. I like it. Maybe next year for 7, we can get like very I don't know what the art style I'm looking for is. Let's get flashy. Let's get busy on 7. But 6 is nice and clean. This is bold too. Bold letters. Whenever like certain companies like make like very mundane changes, but they have like very strong descriptions about why I want Numi come out and
break down the logo.
yeah. The football represents the sport that we all know and love.
Yeah, like, as you guys can see, this thick outside shadow on the right hand side of the eye in the V, like that really
Represents the vigor in our drafts.
full breakdown. That'd be a goat thing to get. Yeah, man, exciting. It's just exciting. I'm a little sad that I'm gonna have to miss the opening Monday there, but I'll do my best to pop on through if there's Wi-Fi's and that sort of thing. But just exciting times on the platform. Hard to believe it is number 6 already. Crazy hot best ball summer ahead. Let's move back to the platform here, Nez. I want to hit on the winners. I did not get I've been dealing with some real life stuff last couple days here and then family stuff on the weekend there, so I did not get a ton of volume in on Monday and Tuesday there, but I'm informed that the goat Sam Olsen was the winner last night of the NBA slate. Mad respect to him. And then we had a bunch of friends and family the night before. There he is again, Sam Olsen. But then Alan was up there with him. Larry's up there with him. Chad's up there. Respooked, aka Riley Taylor, and Car Park, who just continues to do his thing there. So I want to get those shout outs in. And then the main slates for MLB. Moonshot Monday. We had Chris up here. We had Kevin. Rip T-Bone was all over it. Chris was up there again. Vin Deep is having a really nice start to the baseball season there as well. And then the turn Tuesday yesterday. Shout out to our guy In3S who has 2 up here. B Smurf's always in the chat. You're up there as well. Oh, In3S had 3 up here. Just Brett. Hey, good to see just Brett back out there in the streets. I also saw Patrick in the streets at Lock yesterday. Nez,
Wow.
feed the freezer, back out of retirement. Saw him in there. So, yeah, just bad respect to the community. A bunch of friends and family at the top. Marcus Simeon finally doing fucking anything after having the worst OPS in all of baseball among starters there yesterday. It moved him down in the order, and he responds with a home run in Sutter Health Small Park there.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Of course, it's Simeon Day on the day they drop him in the order. You know, that's the motivation that he needed it to get going. Yeah, congrats, In3S. This lineup really shot up out of nowhere when once Fott got going. For me, my lineup, Fott and Langford. I had Wyatt. It was Wyatt Day, so that was that was cool. That was nice to get. I mean, 135 points is that's no small feat in baseball, but you know, we'll take a tie per second. It's fine.
Yeah, nice, dude. Cubs game went nuts there. It was like 10-9 or something like that, and they were just trading runs like it was nobody's business. Cubs are a really interesting baseball team right now. Their bullpen's been shit. Their starting pitching's been mid, and then their offense has just been like the best across all categories in sports right now, or in baseball, right? In the sport right now.
Yeah, they're a nasty lineup.
Mm-hmm. All right, dude. Let's move into. I think that's all the things I wanted to cover off the top there. We can move right on into the NBA slate. I've only done a handful today thus far, and you're not gonna be surprised what I did with those handful of entries there, Nez. I was staring at that Celtics first rounder with the D tag in the last round, and I said, "This is there's no better way to light $25 on fire right now than to go take Jason Tatum with the D tag in the last round." He has played through the D tag once this year. It is a injury to his right wrist, which is his shooting hand. But yes, if he plays tonight, he breaks the slate wide open. I don't think he plays this evening. But in terms of available leverage, I see none better than a couple of those entries being spent on Jason Tatum in the last round. Thoughts, my friend?
No, I totally agree. I think if you're playing any sort of volume, you need at least one Jason Tatum team, just one at the least. I'm doing it at a pretty good clip right now.
Oh, okay. How many Jason Tatum shares you got?
Let's see here. I think I've done it on all but one buzzer beater team, and let me check my main here. I've got 52 mains done. I've done it 10 times, man. That might be it for me, but I want to make sure that I've got my bases covered. That if this dude comes out, I don't want to, just have one and then have that not be the one that matters. Because even if he sucks, man, in the 6th round, Jason Tatum at any regard of being active is going to be what you need. And every minute we don't get the ruled out tweet, I get a little bit more excited. Like if the next thing we see is Jason Tatum on the court,
yeah,
for warmups,
yeah. So a couple things going into this. Peppertoni saying not swappable. Yes, correct. He's not swappable. D-tag is not swappable. You have to click the little yes, I agree to make this draft pick decision making there when you do click on his name. There he is down at 35. Couple wrinkles to this. One, he's played through the D-tag once this year in a meaningless back-to-back that wasn't nationally televised, that we thought he was for sure going to be sitting out on a long extended road trip against Phoenix, I believe it was. We did a show that day. I believe it was Phoenix, if memory serves. And the chat was all over it. The chat was, Mathology was talking about, he was in the gym some reason. I have no idea why. He was in the gym and at shoot around and that sort of thing. Yeah, so let's keep our ears to the street with the shoot around thing. Number 2 thing about this, Nez, is it's short slate dynamics. It's only a 3-gamer. The late round that you're parsing through is guys getting like 18, 20 minutes, this sort of thing, right? Which is completely different dynamic than a full slate if he was a D-tag, because you could still get some slate breakers in the last round. So I think that's a very, important note to just, put on everybody's radar there. The third one is if he does not play basketball tonight, there's going to be more dead lineups and more dead money in this prize pool than almost any other slate on a given year. So there's a threefold to the discussion. Just wanted to put that out there for everybody. Do you have any last words to say on Tatum and stuff?
No. You summarized the dynamics of this entire thing perfectly, especially with that last point. I'm not the only one taking D-tag Tatum. A lot of people are. Like you said, if he's out, that's a ton of dead lineups. And there's already a ton of dead lineups. You just don't really, maybe people do go and look at the end of contests just to see exactly how many there are. But you add the out tag Tatum teams to that pile. Yeah. Now you're it's basically break free contest if he's out.
Right. Yeah. Because the cash line threshold, like hypothetically, shifts downward. Okay, cool. This is funny. Have I spoke on Colin Blackwell yet? Not yet. If I speak, we hold it back for a second here. Pitch saying, okay, yes, okay, this is what happened. D-tag upgraded to Q, went through shoot around, did not play, and then Joker got the upgrade from a D-tag, and then Joker ended up playing. That's what it was. That was the whole sequence of events. I couldn't remember the slate perfectly. Nick telling us doesn't matter. Jonathan Isaac day anyway. That's an important one to talk through because that center rotation, Goga's kind of gone by the wayside, and they are relying on Jonathan Isaac as the backup 5 there. And we know what he can do in terms of fantasy point per minute. He's like basically a 1 in terms of fantasy point per minute guy there with a high stock ceiling. So I do think that's a good shout. Nez, front end of draft boards, any kind of like macro thoughts here before we do the game by game? Like Paulo, the 101 is a flat 1-1. Do you agree with that? Just anything to say upper echelon.
I don't agree with Paulo flat 1-1.
Okay, interesting. All right.
I think it's like flat 1-1. You don't even see Joker flat 1-1 half the time.
It's fair.
I mean, Paulo is the highest projected player, depending on where you look, not even everywhere. So, the consensus to me is just not flat 1-1. I'm surprised it's not like 1-5 with a Jimmy Butler 1-8 because I like Jimmy more than Paulo.
Woo, spice, buddy. So we saw the ramp up in recent memory of playoff Jimmy and whatever. And as a result, we see the handling go up. We see the potential assists. We see him playing on ball way, way more. So it's cut into the usage rate of some of the other guys around him, in particular, second unit guards. Buddy Hield, for instance, usage rate directly impacted by Jimmy Buckets staying on the floor and having the handles. But just some macro stuff there. So this bodes into the take here. Austin asking Butler over Curry. Is Butler over Curry firmly in your camp, Nez?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
For sure.
All right. Some good macro alpha there. I'm going to jump over to the beautiful interface that is unabated so we can talk about this at a game by game capacity. I'll give it a couple of zooms there. Get it in there. That looks pretty good, right? One more.
We only got 3 games.
One more it is. Bang.
There we go.
All right. First one up, Magic and Celtics here. Magic were leading after the first quarter in game 1 on the road there. Did not come to fruition because they got their doors kicked in the second half by the Celtics there. Celtics up 1-0 in this series. A really low total, 196.5. Speaking, toward Tatum not being there and speaking toward Magic playing slow pace down and Celtics, being very good defensively and playing their playoff rotations here. So Magic have a little bit of a problem, Nez. It is all the usage in the world to Franz and Paulo, and then we kind of have no idea what else to do with the rest of their roster. We saw them going back to, as we alluded to, splitting the 5 there. We saw them splitting the 1 with a hot hand approach between Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, and Cujo, good Canadian kid who's been starting there. So, let's talk about Magic side of the ball first, and then we'll talk about the push-pull dynamics of Celtics here. On the Magic, you obviously alluded to the Paulo thing, but how do you feel about some of the other Magic ADPs there?
I'm pretty indifferent, I guess. I think one thing that I would probably say is, I do like Franz. And I think I like Franz over Jaylen Brown today. If you had to ask me, yeah, my exposures say I definitely do. So I do like Franz here. They're way more concentrated in Orlando. Obviously, Boston has a million different ways that they can get you. And Orlando, it's got to be Paulo or Franz. So yeah. I like Franz today a good bit.
They both had extremely high usage rates in game 1. I believe they were north of 40 or hovering around 40, both of them. I remember reading that somewhere on the internet from someone smarter than me this morning. But yeah, just interesting to think about it through that lens is, if you're doing the JB versus Franz, I think instinctually we would be like, oh yeah, JB over Franz because, no Tatum this evening. But they can distribute the ball in so many different ways. Without Tatum on the court this year, his usage rate has not been as high as Paulo and Franz were in game 1 in this exact same spot there, right? And then the other thing is Jaylen Brown hasn't played north of 33, 34, 35, something like that minutes in like a month and a bit. He's been coming back slow from that knee thing, had the injection. So is there reason to play him 36, 37 tonight and have him as a potential slate breaker? So I do think that's a really good conversation, dude.
Yeah. You explained that very well. And then you got Wendell Carter Jr. up here as well. For where he goes, I think I prefer Horford to Wendell Carter Jr.
Okay.
And would probably think about Tari Eason over Wendell Carter Jr. as well.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So, okay, we'll get to Rockets in terms of what they could be doing with double big or not this evening kind of thing and how that impacts, Tari and Amen Thompson and that sort of deal there. But I think that's a good just like macro there on Wendell Carter Jr. Thoughts on the remaining guards, and KCP feels the safest in terms of minutes for sure. but we know he doesn't contribute a ton. We joke all the time that the only person in the world who wants KCP time is KCP. But he is this. He talks about being this playoff performer, and he's got a championship to his name. This sort of thing. He's not shy in situations like this. If we want to play narrative street, so just thoughts on KCP in terms of the minutes, and then auxiliary Orlando favorites and least favorites.
You're going to get a ton of minutes for sure. Just like what kind of production are you going to get? I'm not fading KCP. I'm mixing him in. I'm mixing and matching a ton of guys in the 6. I don't have a ton of conviction in that round. He's one of the many guys that I'm shuffling around.
Okay. Yep, that seems fair. I think if you got to rank out Orlando, he does seem the safest for minutes. Then I think Isaac is the next safest because he's going to split that Wendell Carter Jr. role. And if Wendell Carter Jr., has a couple quick ones, we could see, Jonathan Isaac all of a sudden that 30-18 or that 24-24, or however you want to, break it up, start flipping the other way if one of the two is in foul trouble. And, Wendell Carter Jr. being first up also gives him the ability to be first into foul trouble. So, Jonathan Isaac coming off the bench would be a lot of fun there. Do you have a lean on any of the guards here this evening? Do you think they switch it up? Do you think they keep starting Cujo? He plays good minutes, but like nothing in the box scores for us. 26 minutes and just flat fucking, Tony Snell shit right here. So, thoughts on the guards here. Are any of them worth drafting in the 6th round?
I mean, I think you can maybe take Cole Anthony and say, what if the minutes are just different? Maybe Cole Anthony actually plays today. Maybe they try something new, get some extra scoring off the, into the lineup because it's not going to come from Corey Joseph. So I don't think it's crazy to take some shots on Cole Anthony. He's not going to be drafted very much today. So there's leverage there too.
And you like Cole Anthony over Anthony Black?
Yeah. He's always my first option.
Yeah, I agree with you. They were pretty similar in game 1 there, 10 minutes and 12 minutes, I believe, 13 minutes, something like that. But the other problem with the matchup for the guards and stuff is like you'd rather attack like the wings, not only because they're the better players, but you'd rather, attack wings here opposed to like Cole Anthony versus Drew Holiday or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magic have the lowest implied team total on the slate, and this is the lowest total overall, and somewhat for good reason thus far as we parse through. All right, Nez, Celtics side of the ball there. I didn't read out the Orlando injury report, but it was just Mo Wagner and Suggs. Celtics injury report just reads doubtful on Jason Tatum. We're talking about the potential leave the light on there. I don't know, second night of the series when you're up 1-0, are they able to get some soft rest in here? My mind goes to, holy shit, are Jason Tatum teams and SGA teams fucking dead in the dance right now? That's where my mind goes. But yeah, let's talk about this through the lens. We kind of gave the spiel on Tatum. Let's think about it through the lens of Tatum does not play basketball this evening, and then we're treating the market at face value right now with Boston.
Sorry, I kind of lost you for a second there.
Okay, we're just talking Boston from the top.
Okay.
If Tatum is, we're treating Tatum out.
Yeah, this is interesting to me because I sort of have this top 3, and this is pure. This is, you're not going to get here from projections. I've got the top 3 inverse where I'd go Porzingis, Derek White, Jaylen Brown.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I won't fight you on the Jaylen Brown minutes not being as safe as we think they are.
Yeah, right. And just like, haven't really seen take over Jaylen Brown sans Tatum. Like, man, I can't remember the last time that we saw that. I mean, he always gets this inflated projection every time we get that news hitting, and I never get paid off on my CLV whenever I'm on it. It just has never happened, and it's not. I don't think it's going to happen here.
Okay.
So, give me Porzingis with the ability to get some stocks as well and be like really efficient. We see Derek White huge games all the time. I see Derek White ceiling games in my mind happen way more frequently than Jaylen Brown's ceiling games have happened.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I like this. This is the order in which I like these guys. In a vacuum, I'm not. I mean, like this is literally how I like it. However, I mean, I'm not necessarily drafting it this way. I mean, there's dynamics to this stuff, obviously, but this is. If you had to ask me, this is how I'd rank it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well said there. We got 6th man of the year behind here in Peyton Pritchard. I'm not anticipating he starts this evening. I anticipate Al Horford draws in to that starting lineup. You feel similarly there, Nez?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Holiday, White, Brown, Horford, Zinger, and then Luke Cornett sees a bit of a bump with backup 5 run, and Peyton Pritchard is first man up for 6th man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, you'll probably see 20 minutes dispersed amongst Torrey Craig, Sam Hauser, and someone else kind of deal. And, those guys won't play enough to matter. Maybe someone sneaks to like 10 or 12 minutes. Sam Hauser, the most likely of the bunch to push a little bit beyond that, but none of them likely mattering in our game today.
Yeah, I can't imagine Sam Hauser matters, but
okay.
Man, if he does, I'll be very, very annoyed.
Okay, then let's talk about these next 3 relative to ADP. We got 6th man of the year celebration night here after he won it last night. And then you got Drew Holiday as on-ball guard, and then you got Horford drawing in. Who's your favorite of this bunch relative to ADP?
I think Drew,
okay.
Assuming no Tatum.
Yep.
I think Drew. I think people forget Drew used to hoop a little bit before he became a Boston Celtic and turned himself into a role player. Drew Holiday used to get buckets. So I feel like you see playoff Drew come alive for the Celtics, even when they got full lineup. So now without Tatum there and Jaylen Brown potentially not 100%, maybe we get a little Drew Holiday action today. I like him a lot. I like him more than Peyton today.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so you're flipping the board around a little bit with the Boston pieces, so you're going to naturally be contrarian in your pairings. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see myself getting a little different from ADP here.
Yeah. Go Cards asking an evergreen question in the chat here. NBA daily drafts tend to be the most projection laden drafts on the site. Like that's just how NBA works and how minutes work and how rotations work. So projections heavily weight strategy. In terms of game stacking stuff, there's a little bit more merit to it in the postseason in terms of, hey, this is the game with the tightest spread or the highest implications for, flipping a series or the fastest total and highest total. There's a little bit more merit in, game stacking a game and getting it to overtime. But yes, the macro is play the best plays.
Got it. No, yeah, you can.
Plays, bro.
You can stack. I mean, Best Ball Viper won a dog bowl seat by stacking. So
yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, what was that? Suns Memphis double overtime or something? Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Okay, let's push onward here, Nez. Outside of Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, those seem the next safest for minutes. Will you draft either of them today?
I have drafted some Hauser, but I'm not drafting a ton. And I'm not I don't think I'm going to draft Luke Cornett at all.
Yeah, it's funny how they're ordered and whatever. I actually think Luke Cornett's minutes are a little bit safer than Sam Hauser's this evening. Out of those two, that's how I would rank it. But from a rate standpoint, I'm probably not taking either. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be annoying if that's how it makes sense. So you think Cornett's minutes are safer than Hauser?
Yeah, I think he gets a backup 5 burn there, and I don't think like safer in quotations. Like I think it probably has like a little bit higher ceiling than Sam Hauser getting expanded this evening. I think Sam Hauser would need like some garbage time run to get expanded this evening, whereas Luke Cornett could just play backup 5 run and play. We're literally talking 16 and 18 minutes versus 10, 11, 12. I highly doubt it matters.
It was
for
just a
this
hot
one.
take, regardless. So I had to ask.
I think most places you look, Cornette will be projected for more minutes today.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I'd build it.
Okay.
All right. Let's push on here, Nez. Let's go to the next game here. Largest spread on the slate at 12.5. Cavs at home for the second night of this series. Took care of business in a big way in the first game there. Really nice night from Donovan Mitchell returning to the Spider that we know and love, who we missed a lot in the regular season there because they were just beating the brakes off teams too early for him to start putting up those 50 balls. Put up 52 fantasy points last time out. Highest total on the slate with the 212 here. Evergreen reminder that the Cavs, traditionally speaking, as the season was, were the fastest paced teams of all these teams on the slate. For what that's worth in terms of postseason basketball, playing double big lineups, probably a little less true because if this game took place in the regular season, it'd probably be higher to like 228 or something like that in terms of total. There, nothing really to report here on the Cavs side of the injury report equation. They actually just like literally have nothing. And then on the Heat side, we're dealing with that Jovic coming back from the broken hand there, and then potentially factoring into the rotation, but it hasn't happened yet. Pelly Larson in that same vein. Alec Burks and Haywood Highsmith both available there, and Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, and Kevin Love out. Let's start with the Heat side first, Nez. A condensing in recent memory, which is, we talked about Spoelstra, and going through that rotation has been so gross all year because someone could just jump in, and that could definitely happen again tonight after a loss. But yeah, some condensing around Hero, Wiggins, and Bam is nice to see at the upper echelon of the Heat so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like Wiggins a lot today. I like Wiggins more than I like Jared Allen, and I say that just because they're side by side in ADP. Nice. But yeah, no, these three I like a lot. They put up a pretty good fight until the very end of that game, in game one. So I think you're going to see a lot of these three again. Obviously, yeah, I have no problem with any of these three. Although I have been mixing in Şengün over Bam here and there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can see that. Why not? Yeah, we'll talk about as to why when we get to the Rockets there. But then, yeah, just in terms of this, you're saying Wiggins above, Hero at about ADP, and Bam as a mix and match guy there versus Şengün. Davion Mitchell's kind of in this tier of his own where he's playing a shit ton of minutes. He took over in overtime of that play-in game to get them here. Yeah, thoughts on this one just in general with Davion?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at some point, man, the efficiency is just going to fall off a cliff just because it's just like not his game. But he's playing a ton of minutes. And I'm pretty sure the potential assists are like, up. It's not like he's like running hot necessarily. Like the touch time is increasing. That said, man, the guys he's going over in ADP, I can't do that. I can't. I'm not going to be a part of Davion Mitchell mania when he's going over pods like Fred VanVleet, who shot 1,000,000 threes, Drew Holiday without Tatum. Because Davion Mitchell's putting up 1 fantasy point per minute at a ceiling. That I am being a huge hater here, but like this is just one of those spots where like I just think that it's just not the vibe.
Okay. Yeah, no, I won't fault you on that for sure. I think his minutes are definitely the safest of an off the bench, 6-man guy who keeps being in that closing lineup. But you're right, man. He's basically, I think I read it yesterday that since he's gone to Miami, he's shooting 40% from three. Like, that's wild. That's not him. That's not what he's historically been. Maybe he's improved or maybe he's a little bit more wide open because they have to have bodies on the perimeter on Wiggins and Hero, and that's opening some stuff up for him. But yeah, I agree with you there, man. I agree with you in terms of it is a tough ADP to swallow. Yeah, just in general there. Here's where it gets really interesting with the Heat, dude. Back end here. Man, I thought in game one that we'd see Ware come back to life and they'd be running that like double big lineup and they'd want that kind of like size from him. And instead they turned to the size for Hayward Highsmith. And Highsmith has a really nice game in I guess that was Monday's slate there. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do with the rest of the Heat rotation. I think they start Hero Wiggins, Bam, and then they start Ware and then probably Burks, but non-zero chance they could switch that up for the Alec Burks, and that could open up someone who's more interesting, like Duncan Robinson. I don't think they would start slow-mo in that build, but yeah, I just think the push-pull of Ware, Highsmith, slow-mo Kyle Anderson, those kind of like minutes are very up for debate. And the draft community right now is giving them to Ware. So I think, at his ADP, it's pretty polarizing how you treat him this evening.
Yeah, I think, just to nitpick, they're not obviously necessarily saying Khalil Ware minutes greater than Highsmith. It's just the efficiency that Ware brings. If we just get a marginal increase in the minutes, just a marginal, and now you have the chance to kind of get some extra efficiency along with that is why. But the ADP is frothy for somebody that is only playing around 20 minutes and hasn't hit that elite efficiency in a while. But I do think that there's a chance, there could be a chance that we just see larger rotations here for Ware. I've got a good bit of Ware right now, just based on like where he's going. I mean, it's like him or the Rockets 30-minute guys that have zero efficiency in their game, and then Hayward Highsmith, who is playing a lot of minutes. So I don't think it's crazy to be like, give me Haywood over Ware. I don't think it's like that crazy, but I'm gonna continue to take Ware and just kind of hope for the best. It is a little bit of wish casting for sure, but he does have that profile that can get you a good fantasy point per minute game.
Cool. Yeah, no, I respect that. Any leave the light on for, Duncan Robinson or slow-mo Kyle Anderson, or maybe he just Spoelstra gets finally pissed off and goes, what was working earlier in the season? Jovic, let's get him back in here. Fuck the hand be damned. Get this guy in here. Any thoughts on that?
I guess there's a chance. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
For either guy, but there is always a chance that that game that it is the Duncan Robinson game, and he gets hot and they just got to leave him in. That's not inconceivable, but I'm not counting on it.
Okay. Sounds good to me there, Nez. All right, let's talk about the Cavs. Let's talk about the Cavs, and in particular, the front end of draft boards there. Donovan Mitchell versus the Warriors guys. What side of the fence are you on with that one? And then we can talk about the core four relative to their ADPs to start, and then we'll go to the auxiliary guys.
I have Mitchell 4, so I'm not taking him over Curry, but you could, you definitely could. I just think that there's obviously a greater chance for Curry to play more minutes than Spida in this one. Major blowout potential for the Cavs here, but playoff Spida, man, this is what it's all about. He's a monster. I just think back to whenever he was on the Jazz, and I forget who they were playing in that series, but he was just like put up like 40 points like every single game, and like in the line for his points just like never changed, and just like hitting at that time the over whatever I was playing was just like 2 free every single time. I mean, this is just kind of what it feels like here, man. It's just like playoff Spida is just a different dude, and it's his time, so it makes sense that he's going where he's going.
Yeah, I mean, if he had rings to back it up, he'd be on that same level of conversation as Jimmy Butler when it comes to the playoff narrative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the auxiliary Cleveland pieces. Do you like them in this order? You did allude to the fact that you were a little bit lower on Jared Allen relative to who was it right in that ADP range? Relative to Zinger and Wiggins. Wiggins in particular. Wiggins over Allen was the one in which you alluded to. Let's talk about the other three there. Mobley, Garland, and Allen. Are they just at ADP targets?
No, Mobley's ahead of ADP.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Yep. Nobody. His ADP is where it is because of the box scores. Gotta love the box scores, man. But really, it should be it should be ahead of. Where is it at right now? It is
10.9, 10.5.
I mean, it's behind Derek White. I don't think that's right. I have him ahead of Derek White.
Zinger or Mobley tonight?
I think Porzingis.
Okay. So if we start flipping around some of these front end builds, you could get some contrarian builds on the right hand side of the board with guys that you like that are like Zinger and Mobley, Bam in that kind of like tier by pushing them up over JB and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's totally live today. I mean, cool. This is good stuff, man. You got to love the playoffs because, like you said off the top, like we know what rotations are, and I think that people kind of overfit the knowing of rotations to like, oh, I just saw the results. Here they are again. Right. Like things change, and we also don't know every single rotation. Teams are going to try something new, also, and teams are going to counter with the new stuff, also. But for the most part, it is going to be the same rotations. That said, I like trying to get Mobley on a buy low here, and I mean it's ADP 10, so it's not that low. But
this is my favorite chat comment in a long time, Nez. I've been getting away with these in the Discord for a long time. I love doing them. I love running these back. The great Sam Bito. I could not hold it in while you were talking. Best Ball Viper, Mel Kiper, DeAndre Hunter, 6th round sniper, Shannon Sharp and 7.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to do these bits, man. But that was a goddamn good one.
That was a very good one. Well done, Sam Bito. Holy shit, that had me in stitches for a second there. Oh, good, clean fun.
We're going to have to adopt that and make that just your bits, and then we can continue to do it. It's not Shannon Sharp's bit. It's Roto Runs.
All right, Nez, let's talk about auxiliary calves, because I think this is where it gets really interesting. There was some nuggets in the Discord of Unabated. I'm not going to spill them all because I do want you guys to subscribe to Unabated and go over there. They are killing it. They are killing it in the prop, aka pick'em stuff to start this playoff run here. But man, they had some good notes on this Sam Morrell, Ty Jerome, and DeAndre Hunter kind of like rotation. We saw Ty Jerome play the most out of those minutes in game one of this series. It paid off in a big way, 28 real life basketball points there. Hunter played the least at 16 minutes, and Sam Morrell played 24. To borrow Justin Pham's words, he said they're going to use kind of like a hot hand approach here, similar dynamic with those three as the Cole Anthony. I guess you could throw Strus in there because Strus's impact minutes are most affected by that rotation. So it's kind of like a 4-man, mix and match kind of thing there. That if I'm building a lineup where I want ceiling for Max Strus, I'm not going to build it as a Ty Jerome lineup. Or if I want, DeAndre Hunter ceiling, I'm not going to have Ty Jerome in there. So, just thoughts on that kind of little like 4-man dynamic because, 3 of them are free.
Yeah, no, this is an interesting 6-round decision in my opinion, and I think Max Strus is probably the first one that I like to go to. I'm not doing Sam Morrell yet. Got a lot more drafts to go, but all 3 of these guys, I mean, you kind of said it pretty well here. I think they're all worth taking shots on. No doubt, because I mean, you really just kind of need 30. Most likely from your 6th rounder. And that's a lot to ask from these guys, but you just don't really know who's going to get those minutes. It's hard to tell. and no one's taking a shot on any of them.
Right, which makes me want to be the guy who does take a shot on them late. I think Strus is probably the safest for minutes. I think Hunter probably has the highest ceiling, not named Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had some water.
Severo's brother's a pretty good center fielder. Nice.
Are they actually brothers?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Uber Athletics, last name Merrill.
Yeah.
Not that Sam Merrill's uber athletic, but
he's in the league, he's super athletic. He's in the league,
You're
he's
right.
super athletic.
You're right.
Braveheart Store asking how you check the best ball stuff for NBA on Underdog. Just go hit that live tab right here. Then the best ball is right there. Then you can check NBA, and you guys can see I have 51 of these playoff contests going right now. And then you can just click on them and see, each of them there. Actually, while we're here, Nez, hat tip to your boy, more so to AMAC than me, but the Albatross advanced this morning. So happy Albatross Advancement Day to everybody. 17 of 22, Nez. PGA savant over here.
Should have maxed. What are you doing?
should get those numbers up, man. If I had 150, I would win too, bro.
Dude, good lord. That's crazy.
It was fun. It was nothing to do with me. It was all the community teaching me. So mad respect. There you go. Jeff got 3 out of 6 there. Mad respect. Okay, Nez, let's do the last game on the docket here. This is a very, very important one, I think, for the Rockets here. I don't think you can get knocked around on your home floor as a 2 seed versus the Warriors and then expect to go into Golden State and win this series. So I think this is a very, very important game tonight for the Rockets. I don't know if that means we're going to see some changes, but we saw some weird stuff from them first time up. We saw a lot of minutes from Steven Adams and, some of these double big lineups and stuff like that. So I don't know your kind of macro thoughts on what we see from the Rockets this evening, but this one is a 203.5, 3.5 by way of the Rockets there. Yeah, very interesting decisions to be made on the Rockets side this evening after dropping game 1 there in a very low scoring affair, 95-85 in game 1 there. We saw, playoff Jimmy just be playoff Jimmy. And we talked about, all the potential assists and touch time in which he had there. Both teams really condensed, most notably, though, the Rockets being, we've talked about them all year, dude, being a team of like depth and being like, yo, they're going to want to play bodies and expand. And they only played 8 in game 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they only played 8 in game 1. And Steven Adams pushed up near 20 minutes. So, yeah, interesting stuff here. What's your macro just on the game, on your feel on the situation, and then we'll get into the playoff or the players themselves.
Well, they definitely, are struggling offensively. Very, 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 very much. I mean, they really have been, second chance merchants all season. I mean, they dominated offensive glass all season long in the regular season. And, I think Golden State, not that like any team wants an opposing team to get offensive rebounds, but then, maybe they're making this a bit of an effort, as far as their game plan goes, to you really cannot allow them to get second chance buckets, because that's just like what they've done so well is pound the offensive glass. And they're struggling offensively as well because, I mean, you see Fred VanVleet taking double-digit 3-pointers, and he just has not been a scoring threat all season. And they are really relying on him for offense right now.
Yeah.
They're kicking it out to him, and they're begging him to knock down threes. Maybe that changes. I don't think so. I think they're gonna go back to Fred VanVleet. They're gonna want him to try to get more shots up, build some confidence, and knock down some shots. Because Amen Thompson is not a shot creator. I love him as a player. Just doesn't create his own shot. Sengun, there's only so like whenever you're down, you can't necessarily go. I mean, you argue you could go back to Sengun time and time again, but like whenever you're trailing, you're gonna try to shoot some threes, and that's not Şengün, but so, and then Jalen Green, can get his own shot, but when it's not working for him, and they've got some tough defenders on ball, that's just not the game. That's not what you want either. So they're just kind of struggling in that regard. So if they're front running, that's great. If they can get up and they're front running, they can hold the lead. That would be great for them. But all that to say, I kind of think it's the same old. But Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet, I think, have pretty high ceilings if things go their way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be taking a lot of those two, just in the event that their ceilings hit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Nick in the chat agreeing with you. The solution to fix the offense is just pray Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet, aka Dick Van Meat, just play better. Like they just need to hit shots. They have to hit shots. Okay, cool. Keith chiming in the chat that it's Jabari Smith night there. Jabari's playing off the bench, but he did play 25 minutes, which was the most of any bench player for them. It was at the expense of Tari Eason and Steven Adams a little bit there, but most notably, Cam Whitmore not playing at all kind of deal there. So yeah, thoughts on back end pieces here between Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks. We know he's kind of KCP-esque where he's going to play a lot of minutes. He's going to start. He's going to be out there, but he's bad from a rate standpoint. He can get a little hot from three, and they do trust him a little more to score than maybe the Magic trust KCP. But yeah, just thoughts on some of these back end Rockets pieces here.
Yeah, I think I like Dylan Brooks over Jabari.
Okay.
Just because, like you said, he does have some, he's had some offensive outbursts this season, like way more than I would have ever expected Dylan Brooks to have, and haven't really seen Jabari Smith do that. Jabari Smith has just been a really pretty good role player for them, like hitting the glass, but scoring wise, that's not necessarily something that Jabari Smith is up to. But I still think Jabari Smith plays a lot.
Yep.
Steven Adams, I don't think I'm going to have any Steven Adams at all today.
Okay. Yeah, the 20 minutes, there was a little bit of overlap with him and Şengün, but it was primarily backup 5 run, and it basically was just like, oh, it's playoff time. Cut Jock Landale out of the rotation, and we're not playing any small ball 5, minutes here. Like they did a little bit in the regular season there where we saw, I'm trying to think of the matchup in particular, where we saw Şengün, just like not play, but it was also kind of like a quiet quit rest day. I can't remember what team it was that they decided to run that unit against, but I do remember seeing it a little bit. Yeah, that's the gist of it there on that side. Let's talk about the Warriors side then, and what they're going to do outside of, the obvious, Butler, Curry doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. It came at the expense of Pods in terms of handling role, but Pods' minutes were way up north of that 36 it wasn't north of 36. It was 36. It was 35 and a bit there. But the most bankable minutes are going to be, I would put Pods as more bankable than Draymond because Draymond's liable to just go rogue at any fucking moment here. But yeah, I would just say like those 3 for me, and then Draymond, a little bit, and then do you want to get to anybody else? Question.
Yeah, I think 6th round you can probably get a good look at Moses Moody, who didn't have a great efficiency game last time out, but he's playing a lot of minutes. So I like Moses Moody as an option in the 6th round. I mean, he's not getting drafted very much at all. And I think he's very viable to be taking shots on. That said, though, this big 4 here is great. And I've got a ton of Pods and Draymond today. Okay.
Sounds good. So you're eating up that 3rd and 4th round Pods and Draymond. Minute security there, plus good defined rules. There's some push-pull here with Moses Moody and Gary Payton. They're basically 1-for-1 replacements for one another there. Like Moody starts, and then it's just whoever's on the court, they're rarely alongside each other. So it's one or then the other. So if I'm building a lineup that I'm planning on taking Moody, I would never take Peyton with it, or vice versa kind of deal. So just putting that out there. Some funny comments on Buddy Hield and, just don't dribble and only shoot kind of stuff there from Jimmy Butler. I don't know if you caught that one,
no,
Nez, but yeah, it was basically like, Jimmy Butler is like doing all the handling and Buddy just needs to shoot kind of thing. And yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll try to find the quote and put it in the Discord later there. But any love for like Buddy Hield getting hot from 3 or, some backup 5 run here? We did see Looney and Post, which, kind of cannibalizes our interest in either of them by them playing both of them. So yeah, what do you think?
I mean, just the fact that I only saw 15 minutes from Buddy Hield and only 12 minutes in that playing game against Memphis doesn't bode well. So I'm probably all the way out on Buddy Hield, but he can get hot from 3. No doubt. Like, let's say they're trailing, they need some extra scoring. Maybe they throw Buddy Hield in and play small. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not counting on it.
Yeah, that's a really astute point. It's nice to see this Warriors rotation get condensed because they're fun to watch when they play their guys big minutes and they're not going, 10, 11 deep on the bench for no reason there. Jake Camp saying he's in the lobbies right now with Gil Arenas. That's always fun. Pretty cool perk of playing on Underdog just in general. Nick alluding to Moody KCP Spider-Man meme. I'd throw Dylan Brooks in there too. And just all 3-way Spider-Man mean that one. I know Dylan Brooks is a little bit more of a pest on the defensive end or whatever from a real life basketball standpoint. But if we're talking pure fantasy output, I'd throw Dylan Brooks in that Spider-Man meme as well. That's 3 up. That's 3 down there. Nez, I think it's time to hop in these hoops drafts, see what they look like on the fly.
Let's do it.
Hump Day Hoops. Snap.
I'm looking for oh, never mind, I got it.
Oh, there's our guy. Gil Arenas in here right there. There's our guy, Len Keith. Riley Taylor's in here as well. Pitch is in here with us. And Ken 50. If you are Ken 50, say what up.
Gil, does Gil have ranks today, or is he just going ADP?
I don't know. It worked one time when he was just going ADP at the tail end of the silly season there. So we'll see. The great Sambino in the chat is saying that he was on the Magic taking a lot of Cole Anthony. So he thinks Cole Anthony gonna step up. Yeah. Is that the real Agent Zero? Yes, it is. It sure is. That is in fact Agent Zero in the lobbies alongside us. Underdog official partner. Is Numi going to be a special guest for BBM kickoff week? I don't know. You have to talk to Nez. Nez is taking care of BBM kickoff week, but we have a very special guest to talk. We're going to film it later today to talk about the state of the games, and the special guest is not Numi. So there's another person coming through. We'll just leave it at that, but we'll talk about the state of the games and the future Underdog and some of that sort of stuff. So really looking forward to that later this evening. All right, there goes the Paulo and Jimmy. Who do you like here with Donovan Mitchell or Steph Curry?
I like Steph. I've been taking Steph.
All right, let's do it. 39 minutes of Steph. Who says no? Yeah, Mello, special guest Mello.
Melo's been a special guest multiple times.
Breaking it down.
Uninvited, but just comes on because he demands it.
See, our guy Gil is on JB and Sangoon on the right-hand side of the board there. Hero and Bam paired together for Ken. Let's see what Pitch does here, a.k.a. Trackus.
Yeah, Gil, that's ADP from Gil, right?
So far. We'll see if he scrolls. Let's see if our guy scrolls a little bit. I'm leaving the light on for Gil being a viewer, knowing how to scroll the F down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We're boys now since Slam Diego. Slide in the DMs. Yeah, what up, buddy?
You're going to get best ball fever.
Franz goes at 9 there. I'm imagining you're going to tell me to take Mobley or Zinger here.
Yeah, I would probably say Mobley.
All right, let's take Mobley. I saw T-Bear spitting some fire in the chat about Mobley, some hot takes. What was it? Mobley hype train stops here, he says.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody noticing Bam is confident, becoming best big in the series. Bam is back to being Bam.
I did notice that. I could read the confidence, the body language. It was evident.
GA using his 20-month membership. Appreciate you, bro. Very wisely here by saying Jon is still an ADP slappy. Some things never change out here. I'd go ahead and pair Garland here. I like Garland more than Wiggins, but I know you like Wiggins more than Allen. Do you like him more than Garland?
No, I like Garland here. How about that Pods pick from our guy Keith?
Keith out here flipping the board, buddy. He's getting after it.
That's awesome.
Pods, Butler, and Singer. You got to get different if you want to win the contest.
I do like that pick a lot. Just go get him. Just go get Pods, man. He's playing great basketball right now.
He sure is.
Jared Allen, Jalen Green. That's for now.
Kick and meat, baby. There he is.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I think we're both kind of out on the Davion train here, so we could do the Pritchard thing. We could pull up Horford. I kind of out on Ty Jerome at that ADP. Who do you like, Nez?
Probably Pritchard if we're not going to do Davion. This is where I would be okay with Davion, but
Davion gives us a little bit of game stack there too. You like Pritchard more than Davion in a vacuum tonight, though, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it. My goal to win is to get a 4th rounder in the 6th. Didn't happen.
Damn.
Yeah.
Try again. Reroll.
Our guy Michael, resident Rockies guy, is just here for us to tell him that the Rockies are bad. Baseball's coming up next. I'll tell you how fucking bad the Rockies are.
It's not good over there.
No, it's not. There's Jabari Smith getting pushed up a little bit there. Wendell Carter Jr. is here for us. We can start scrolling, do some Highsmith stuff. We could do Dylan Brooks. We could do Tari Eason. You said you like Tari Eason, though, right?
I do like Tari Eason.
A little Terror Twins action today. Do Tari Eason and then get a little cheeky scroll in the last round.
Have to. You got to get GA off our backs. Mm-hmm. Glad to see him back, though. I feel like I haven't seen a GA comment in a minute.
He rolled through for some of the puck stuff and some of the football stuff at one point.
Only when puck's on the thumbnail. I can respect it.
Yeah. Big Fungi rolling through with the 7 months too. GM, mad respect. Member for 7 months. Ooh, buddy, he's a lurker. He's having too much fun out there whipping around in his Supra, buddy. Top down Supra. Driving around town, listening to the BadgeBros. What a life GA's living. What a life, dude. Cheering for those Minnesota Wild. He went up 4 Cobb last night. Quick. Ooh. They were nice. Did you see any puck
how late that game was?
Dude, yeah, that's one of the pitfalls of this 4 games in a night ESPN staggered schedule is they keep staggering it. Yeah. The miso tuna. Mosia, Tanya. It's like a national park or something. Rolling through with 14 months, telling me I better scroll because he has the exact same team duped. Exact same team. Get ready to learn Jason Tatum, buddy. If I was going to do Jason Tatum, this is actually not the team that I would do it on because we did spend on the Pritchard thing. I think those negatively correlate. I think Jonathan Isaac feels like a good scroll here. Yeah. Luke Cornett feels fine too.
Yeah, I would prefer John Isaac.
Big John?
Yeah.
All right. I think he'll project better of the two there. A couple quick ones. Who says no to a couple quick ones tonight on Wendell Carter Jr.? Who says no to a couple quick ones? Not me.
Not us.
Not me. Johnny Football's rolling through to say he loves some Holiday and Isaac tonight. Love that. Isaac or Highsmith. I think Highsmith's safer this evening, like considerably. But yeah, I think either of them are fine in the last round. Nez, thoughts on that one?
I like Highsmith, but Isaac's way more efficient. But Highsmith's going to get more minutes for sure.
Cool. Let's rip one more hoops there, and then we'll do a rapid fire on the baseball, one baseball draft, and one hockey draft. Close it out here because I got to go take this dog out for a minute before we get our next show rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot of baseball to talk about today.
Mhm.
You're pushing it with this second hoops draft.
All right. The thrill, baby. Our baseball, as soon as basketball's over, our baseball insight and like it'll kind of flip with what hoops is doing, where we'll talk about baseball for like the first 45. You know what I mean? Right now, our baseball stuff, it's hard to do like an hour and get drafts in. So it's kind of like our baseball is a little quick and dirty right now, which is, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you gotta get baseball isolated in the sports calendar, and then we'll really
Then we'll really do the deep dive and talk about some splits, some ISOs, talk about instead of just which way the wind's blowing. Nez, did you see this pass from the throw last night?
No, I was asleep.
Kaprizov with a nasty sauce, just waist high sauce right to Boldy, blue line, walks onto it. Nasty. So nasty. Pitch asking, is the Underdog State of the Union going to be a live show or released later? It's going to be released later. We're going to try a little post-production for the first time in a long time. So
yeah, TBD on when it will be released, but we are doing post-production. Not tonight.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be released prior to the NFL draft and or BBM. Like that's kind of like the time frame I think here. Nez, you said you like Sangoon more than Bam, so should we do Sangoon over Bam?
Let's do it. Let's do it this time. See
right.
see what we can put together.
We know that Gil's gonna go JB and Bam, so then we can have a decision after here. I think it's time to start flipping, bro. I think it's time to start flipping. I mean, I know we really like Franz today. I know we like Hero, but I think it's time to start flipping. You told me we got to start taking some Zinger as the highest drafted Boston piece.
Let's do it. That's fun, man. I like that.
Yeah, Zinger ain't falling back.
I mean, there's really no difference between him and those four guys, and no one's gonna do that, or no one's gonna want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Is Ben Rice better than Soto? I mean, he's got some pop right now. I thought I had a couple Ben Rice shares in the Dinger, and I looked last night on Sweating Dingers, and it didn't say I was in the top 25. So, because it only lists the top 25. So I don't know how I check out my own shares of Ben Rice. I'm sure I could just find that now. But I think I took at least one or two because I think someone said it in the Discord, and then Easy said, nah, he's a daily only guy. And then I was like, I'm going to fucking show Easy. And then drafted a couple Ben Rice. Like, I think I did. But man, Ben Rice has been nice leading off there. That Austin Wells left-handed leadoff did not last very long.
No, it did not. Who would have thought? Homegrown Austin Wells. You see Ken Rosenthal's article?
No.
Oh, yeah. He was talking about how the Yankees are, the homegrown product these days.
Homegrown Paul Goldschmidt and Jazz Chisholm.
Carlos Rodon, Jazz Chisholm. Homegrown, baby.
You know who's homegrown? Their shittiest fucking hitter, Anthony Volpe.
Yeah. How about that?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, good, clean, fun. Jared Allen with a little bit of a fall back to the right-hand side of the board. Could be nice because we flipped already. So, it lines up a little differently. But Jalen Green will rarely be paired with Zinger if we want to do like that kind of like game thing.
Let's do Jalen Green, and let's be shocked when we see what Gil's two selections are.
All right. Let's see what Gil does. Gil does Jared Allen.
Scroll.
And Davion Mitchell.
Whoa.
So we could do a little game stacking and put pods with that. I think he's kind of my favorite of this next tier. Or we could just go all in on Rockets Go Burr and take Dick Van Meet.
Pod smash.
Pods smash it is. We play a little bit of the other side of that game. So we got ourselves a Sangoon, Zinger, Jalen Green, and a Pods team thus far. Kind of fun to flip the board.
Very fun to flip the board.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger, homegrown talent as well.
Oh yeah, lest we forget.
What was slanderish, Nick? What did we slander there? Your Yankees? Your beautiful Yankees?
Yeah, dude loves the Yankees. Loves the
Unsubbed and
Yanks.
reported for AC. Taking Pods with Butler or Curry. Yeah, I think you have to. Because if he makes it back to you there, he's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Not worried about that.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to pair 4 teammates together. I think 4 would be my soft cap. If I was building out some game stack stuff, I think 4 is kind of the magic number. 4 out of 6 roster spots is a little heavy, but I think it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for teammates, right? Or just in the game?
For teammates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Garrett Cole was always a Yankee. Yeah, Nez knows that best. Oh, I make myself laugh, Nez. I make myself laugh.
I hear you laughing.
All right, guys, we got like 230 of us hanging out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, notification. If you happen to be watching on the X, hit the retweet, share with your friends, all that fun stuff. Let's do some Jabari Smith here and take a third rocket, play this game out like this. What do you think, Nez?
Yeah, let's go Jabari. And then we're gonna scroll.
Yeah, we are. I'm thinking of a name that nobody else is going to draft today because he's probably going to play 0 fucking minutes.
Who's that?
What do you think about the cum bucket, buddy?
Oh my god.
Who do you like? You like Highsmith? You like Isaac? One of the other Cleveland pieces, perhaps?
Yeah, let's do a Cleveland piece.
Hunter?
Yeah, let's go Hunter.
Let's go Hunter. Hunter comes off the bench. Hunter plays the large bench minutes. Hunter scores off the bench as he's prone to do. 30 fantasy points from DeAndre Hunter in the last round. Guy you potentially need. Yeah, man. I don't know. One of these games, it's probably not tonight, but one of these games, the cum bucket is going to matter in our lives. And he's going to come out and he's going to do his best Kevin Porter Jr. impression by just going, 18, 19 minutes, 28 fantasy points. And then Steve Kerr is going to be like, you know what? This guy should probably be back in the lineup a little bit here, back in the rotation a little bit.
I just don't. I mean, I get it. They're winning. I'm just really shocked at at Kuminga not playing at all.
Yeah. Nick say Kuminga will be awesome on the Blazers next year.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I mean, I don't think that's the spot I'd want him. Blazers look like they got some good things going on right now. And I don't think that's the one I would want. I mean, maybe they just give up like Malcolm Brogdon or whatever. I mean, they already did that in the past. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who you could what you could do to get him there.
I don't know. I can think of a lot of ways, but I guess with the role players that they have right now, it's not necessary for what his game brings. I suppose it's just like shocking to me.
Yeah. It's a bit. All right. Yeah, this series is going to break Memphis. That's a fun conversation too. Yeah, this is kind of my thought too, Rocket Sauce. Blazers already have a better Kuminga. His name's Shaedon Sharpe. Yeah, not to be confused with Shannon Sharpe. Blazers, Grazers, Memphis in 7.
Let's talk baseball.
Let's talk baseball. Nez, I'm going to leave you with the ADP for 10 seconds here while I take care of a little something here with Mr. Goodboy. And you could start us off with the pitching and that sort of thing.
All right, let's take a look at this pitching slate here. It's not very good It's really not that good. Logan Webb at home though is always a blast. ADP is super high, but I get it. Freddie Peralta in the not the friendly confines, but in a good pitching environment against the Giants here. It's definitely fun as well. Giants, I just really like. I think the Giants are a really good lineup. So I'm not like in love with that spot. The guy that I really like today is David Festa against the White Sox. Huge ceiling there. Pretty solid floor as well going up against the White Sox. So he's probably SP2 for me today, all things considered. Eduardo Rodriguez, Erod, having a nice start to his season, going up against very right-handed heavy Tampa, though. Don't necessarily love the matchup and how right-handed the Rays are, but Erod's been pitching some nice ball. But you guys know what I'm going to say. Andrew Heaney, Heen Dog, revenge game against the Angels here. He's been going nice. That changeup's working. I think he's going to have a nice game against the Angels. Don't believe what you see with the stack rankings, the stack projections. They don't know shit.
On Andrew Heaney?
Yeah.
Professional ass lefty thumber?
Goddamn right, buddy.
I mean, we're getting burned by professional ass pitchers right now. Like Patrick Corbin.
Are we fucking ever?
Patrick Corbin ain't giving it up right now. Andrew Heaney hasn't been giving it up right now. Miles Michaelis this morning not giving it up right now. Like these professional ass pitchers are being professional ass early on, dude.
It's amazing. I mean, it's just like it's just what happens, man. It's what happens every single time. It's amazing.
Did you hit on the Festa stuff? I know everybody likes the spot here. Does he have pitch count concerns? Does he have a ceiling? I mean, he hasn't surpassed 5 innings in his first 2 there. I think it's very just top heavy, and I'm going to be prioritizing both Webb and Peralta, who are going really good to start this year. And Webb showing some K upside that hasn't been there in the past as well, both in a good ballpark to pitch this evening. So I think I'm going to be heavy on the top 2 here. Nez, your thoughts on Festa?
Yeah, I liked Festa a lot, but yeah, I guess there's that pitch. If he's getting pretty heavily limited, then that's not great. But he does have really good stuff. Yeah. So let's see if he can. I feel like if there's any game for him to eclipse 5 innings, it's here.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't think the rest of the pitching is that great today. So I like Festa at worst for like a good for a pretty good floor. Assuming nobody else puts up like 20 points here, but I can understand pushing up Logan Webb and Peralta.
Okay, cool. The Erod stuff, I like lefties more pitching against Tampa because it neutralizes Aranda and Lowe a little bit. So there's a little check beside Erod's name.
You prefer that as opposed to having to face Calminaro and Yandy and Morel?
Yeah, but I could see both angles.
Yeah.
I
also think lefties are much worse.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would not want to be a lefty against the Rays.
Interesting. Opposite camp there. I'd rather deal with those right-handed ones. Bowen Francis as a righty against a team that has a whole bunch of righties in the Astros who are scuffling just in general to get things going. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with that after what we've seen from Bowen Francis recently, but not my favorite, but I think it's fine. Lorenzen, if you want to go K hunting against the Rockies, nobody's going to fault you, but it does look like a better spot for bats than it does for arms in KC. Taj Bradley, man, we were talking about him like not that long ago as like potential big K upside. Had a bad start against the Yankees last time out in a tough place to pitch. Going to Arizona is like a little bit of a upgrade for him versus his home park. So I in terms of like the scroll options, Taj Bradley is probably my favorite of this back end grouping.
Yeah, he is just kind of chilling back there with a really high ceiling. So that's a really good shout.
That's where I am at, my friend. I will have 0% rocker today. I'll have very limited, if not 0, of Festa. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm treating this slate here. No Matthew Boyd for me, even though he's shown a little bit of a ceiling in the past. Just does not look good.
Yeah, not against the Dodgers.
Yeah. Did you happen to talk about any weather concerns and or boosts, anything like that, Nez?
No, weather's fake, bro.
Okay, cool. I respect it. Um, yeah, I think there's just like a bunch of like mid-ass parks on the slate, just in general. Like Wrigley's not playing up today. Uh, yeah, Oracle's just the exactly what you expect it to be. I think the Angels probably Sutter Health Park and Angel Stadium look the best to me.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would agree.
Yeah, 8 games, Nez. So a plethora of options to choose from in terms of stacks and one-offs. As we alluded to earlier in the show, Cubs and Dodgers went nuke last night. Wyatt Langford came back. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago. And then he had the off day. They had the off day in between. So Wyatt Langford is back in our lives, but giveth and taketh the baseball gods. Corey Seager pulled up lame with a hamstring and left last night. So maybe no Seager in that lineup today. Thoughts and prayers to the best ball bags that it is not a long-term thing. Angels, I'll have some, but not a lot. Talking out of both sides of our mouths. With that one, classic baseball. Yeah, thoughts for stacks and stuff.
Yeah, for me, I do like a little bit of some Pittsburgh minis.
Okay, yeah, I
Little,
good
little
ballpark.
Yeah, a little Cruz Reynolds mini is pretty fun. I mean, these guys just have really low ADPs. And Manuel righty killer, batting clean up for
Yeah.
these Buccos. Very very hilarious. Yeah, I actually do enjoy those guys today. The stacks that I was really playing around with a lot are obviously the Athletics going up against Rocker. Rocker leaned on the slider a lot last start out and got really good results. But they are playing in Sacramento, and I would like to see it again. And until then, cheap A's just seems fantastic. So this is one of the easiest teams to stack right now with a pretty damn good run total.
Yeah, I like it. I'll keep playing the hits here as well with Athletics and Rangers in that ballpark. But some of the contrarian variety. Like I'll definitely play the hits with the top end Athletics guys. Rooker's fine as a one-off. Rooker's great in stacks. I love getting to any of these like top 5, 6 bats on here. I'll basically never play Jacob Wilson, just like I kind of never play Stephen Kwan, but that's just kind of like a macro theory standpoint there for me. I know Nez feels differently. And I think on the Texas side, I'll play some of those big boppers that are right-handed power, like Jake Berger potentially getting up in the lineup today with the absence of Seager and presumed absence of Jock Peterson. Doing Josh Young plus Jake Berger mini stack that not everybody's going to get to. Yeah,
I do think that that's a lot of the low-owned righties for the Rangers. I think are a lot of fun.
Yeah. We are JP Sears respectors, but we are not respectors of that ballpark, my friend. It is it's mini Coors, it's mini Tampa, it's mini Great American Small Park last night. Just because it didn't get home last night doesn't mean I don't want to go there tonight. We got a question in the chat here from Cody asking if Nick huge pause Hertz is going to be playing baseball this evening. Yes, I believe he's going to be making his debut for the Athletics this evening after getting called up. And by the sounds of it, they're going to move Soderstrom to left field, and they're going to keep Brent Rooker at the DH position. They've been working Soderstrom out in left field. If that happens tonight, I'm not 100% sure. If they do want him to get in and make his big league debut, and he's not in the player pool, I imagine, just confirming. Yeah, he's not in the player pool. But yeah, anticipating him in there this evening, and it will come at the expense of someone tonight. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's gonna sit. Probably Muncy, I would imagine. I'm not totally sure.
I'd
But
agree
he
with you.
he will be playing, and hopefully, it probably won't be tomorrow. I'm not even sure if the A's are playing tomorrow, but I would give it like 2 calendar days after Kurtz logs his first inning that we can get him in the player pool.
Yep. Fully agree there, Nez. Getting some chatter in the chat about Minnesota. Just never Twins. Never Twins, man. I'll die on that hill. Never Twins, never that ballpark. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do like a one-off Larnick because of the handedness advantage and lefties play better in that park, or you want to do Buxton because he's mispriced today after yesterday, I'm fine with it, but just never fucking Twins.
I mean, it's easy to say, especially off a flop, but that's kind of what makes them like the perfect buying opportunity today, to be honest.
True. I mean,
wind blowing out at 8 miles an hour.
Oh, weather's fake, bro.
I forgot.
Yeah,
scratch that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some contrarian sticks you could get to as scroll the F downs. Like, if you want to play Twins, I think Larnick and Julian are my favorites, given the ADPs right now.
Yeah, I like this rookie that they just called up here, Luke Keuchel.
Yep.
It's not how you say his name, obviously. But yeah, where's he batting today? Third,
yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. That's a who the hell is that guy that nobody's gonna pick. So I like who the hell is that guys.
Okay.
I like those guys.
Like it. Yep. Him piling on as a Twins homer. Yes, they are disappointing. I mean, they start to play up a little bit when the weather starts to play up. And 65 degrees on an 8-game slate, even though it's against the White Sox, just doesn't really do it for me. But I will say today, probably a little bit better of a spot than yesterday on paper, and everybody played him yesterday. So I think you're right, Nez, in terms of, wanting to get to a potential contrarian stack a day after they flop is just evergreen. Good strategy.
I mean, fucking Buxton. I barely see this for Judge. Buxton was a 1.5x home run yesterday in the Pick'em lobby.
Yeah.
1.7x today.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Thank you. Yeah, it is wild.
State
Definitely
of the
wild.
home run pick'ems more so than anything. Give us a little more money, Noomi. This is crazy.
I do want to just bring to everyone's attention a couple changes in the Rockies who have been scuffling. That place is playing up a little bit for runs today. Kansas City, big outfield, blah, blah, blah. But Brent Doyle is going to return today from the paternity leave and stuff like that, and he's going to lead off. So I think it was paternity leave or it was some other leave. It wasn't like an injury designation. So he's going to lead off today. Mickey Moniak's going to hit behind him, and then they called Jordan Beck back up as well. So, I mean, the bottom half of that lineup is still atrocious, but at least at the top half, going out, Lorenzen, a little bit of, no-hitter to his credit and that sort of deal, and one-time all-star that, professional ass righty to his credit, but, contrarian Rockies, you could do worse today because of that Doyle, Moniak, Goodman, McMahon, Tolia top 5 is not terrible, but it's still the fucking Rockies.
Oh, it's terrible, brother.
Yeah.
They are a very, 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 very bad offense. It's kind of hard to overstate how bad they are, but John, there is a team who's right next to them in terms of being bad offensively this season. Do you know?
I would venture to guess like the White Sox or something like that, but the fact
they're
that you're
close, but they're not touching them. They're not neighbors in the rankings.
Are they on the slate today?
They are.
Is this just in terms of overall run scoring?
There's a couple different metrics you can look at and call this team second worst.
Let's go with the Astros.
Good guess. They suck. It's the team that the Rockies are playing today.
Royals have been bad, eh?
They stink, brother. They stink. 67 team WRC plus.
Ooh.
They're slugging 310. as
Oof.
an organization.
Dude, just is this Herman Marquez his music coming back to life here?
In a nice open ballpark that doesn't have an elevation of 1 mile.
I gotcha.
I wish
Okay.
scrolling down for pitcher mattered more, because that would be a great
Right.
great
Yeah.
scroll.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else you want to bring up as we talk through potential stacks here? I think it's a very Starsy Scrubsy kind of thing where it's like you either got teams that have like a 3 implied run total or a 3.3, or you got teams with north of 5, and there's like 5 or 6 on the slate that have north of 5, but they have nobody. There's nobody with like a 5.8 or a 6, something like that. And then on the pitching side of it, I think it's very stars and scrubby in terms of like I think I'll have 0% Milwaukee and 0% Giants today because I just respect the spot too much for these top end pitchers.
So that's where I would probably say I'd get to some Giants, just
Okay.
because I think like it's you're not wrong, right? Like, why would you want to take an offense in San Francisco against a good pitcher like Freddie? I just think Freddie has some potential meltdown, in his bag. It's not often, but it does. And I do like the Giants. I play the Giants every single slate. I think the Giants are just a very underrated offense. And just in the off chance that they do get to Freddie, and they kind of just blow this thing up a day after kind of getting embarrassed, a little bit of motivation there. I think that you're going to be, you're not gonna have a lot of competition if you have that stack going off. That's just the way that I think about it. Given, I do respect the park and the pitcher, but man, the lefties for the Giants are a lot of fun to draft, and just the Giants in general are I think a lot of fun to draft. I think they're very underrated.
Yeah, I like that shout just in terms of like the blow up potential in Freddie Peralta's profile, where he's like, he throws hard, hit hard kind of guy, where it's like they could definitely have like score 4 runs off of Freddie and then deal with the bullpen after that kind of deal, where they score 4 off of him and it's by way of the left-handed sticks. I do think the lefties would grade out as my favorite, and I do think Mike Yastrzemski will lead off today. They were doing the Yastrzemski some percentage of the time, but then Lamont Wade some percentage of the time. I think it'd be Yastrzemski at the top, and that ADP, kind of buried down there feels pretty good.
Yeah, he's always like my favorite whenever they're facing a righty.
Cool. Yeah, kind of the inverse of the Austin Hayes back in the day.
Exactly.
Oh, truly sick that we can just say that sentence and people understand what we're talking about.
It's a great thing. What do you think about Blue Jays today?
I just they've been.
I get it. I get that noise.
Yeah, they've been very good at not striking out. Is the nicest thing I can say about the Blue Jays. Like they've been very good at not striking out. They're loaded with right-handed bats. Ryan Gusto's like, not anything to write home about, and he's not getting played. So why not mix in a couple 3-mans, something like that? I mean, I would probably just do it with the chalky, like top of the order guys. Alan Rodin's got a little bit of pop. Will Wagner's got a little bit of pop from the left side, but I probably wouldn't get to them. I think it'd probably just be Santander, Vlad for me, and just hope they start falling into some power.
Yeah, I just like I've been wanting to play Vlad this series with the Crawford boxes, but he hasn't been doing shit.
Yeah.
Springer's having a nice start to the season, so maybe doing a little like Vlad Springer, maybe 2-man game.
Sure. Yeah.
Something to think about. I just don't think a lot of people are looking their way, and it's Ryan Gusto on the mound. Maybe Gusto's a payroll platform. Maybe it's Gusto. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a very like choose your own adventure slate, but I think before we hop in a draft, to just kind of summarize, you want to be on the right side of history when it comes to the Angels, and you're going to be a little bit off the Angels and a little bit more on the Pirates side. You're saying that you might want to get some contrarian Giants in your life, particularly left-handed ones. You're a little bit off of the Royals just in general because of their recent performance there. Who else can I summarize there for you, Nez?
Did you say the Twins? I do like the Twins. I know you don't.
Oh yeah, you like the Twins. You like the Twins as a bounce back spot after yesterday there, and then we both like getting to Sutter Health Park, which is just kind of evergreen at this point with us.
Yeah, and then I do want to let our audience know that Derek Carty loves the Cubs today. He doesn't love them; he likes them.
So Carty
He
likes
kind of loves them.
Carty likes Angels and Cubs a lot today.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think the Cubs one is misguided. It going against Noah Davis, so Noah Davis fan graphs going into my search bar in a minute. We just talked about how nasty the Cubs lineup is. The problem is the Cubs they're chalk on paper, but if you're in a room with badges and you build out, and you take the first Cub, you can get Crow Armstrong in like the 5th round. So,
Yeah.
the ADP is very misleading when you're in there with grinders.
He went undrafted in one of my drafts earlier this morning when I was just getting a feel for the landscape. One thing that's interesting about the Heaney matchup is they're probably going to roll out 8 righties today. It's weird that they have a right-handed power team that has been better against right-handed pitching than left-handed to start this year. But I think we're baking in some of that regression here, and Carty's going, yeah, they got the book on Andrew Heaney after he pitched for them in the past. But my one Angels note is Luis Rengifo. I think he'll be back in the lineup today. He's got a Q tag and nobody's drafting him. He pinch hit last night. He came in like the 8th or 9th inning, something like that. Got an AB in there, and it wasn't anything physical. It was dental. So I think he'll be fine. Yeah, I think he'll be fine to be back at the top of that order today. So anticipating a lot of right-handed power in that lineup today. So I don't know, a little contrarian Angels stack of like Neto, Adele, Paris at the bottom. You could do worse, man.
Remember Kyron Paris, John?
What was he like? Tell me about him in his heyday.
Oh my goodness, man. Let me tell you about, the rolling WRC plus is very funny to look at. I wish him all the best, but 34% K rate, that shit ain't gonna work.
The Reese Hines of my generation.
But hey, at least he swings like Aaron Judge.
That's true. All right, Nez, let's hop in the lobbies here, see what this one looks like on the fly, and then maybe we'll dust off the model for one draft and then call it a show, because I got to do some prep before the next one and walk this damn dog.
Yeah, give me one quick sec.
Yeah. Timmy Carr saying that Neto's ADP is night and day from yesterday. That's a great point there. Mixing in Neto into some of those stacks feels good. It's funny how this happens on the site, like just in general, that like, oh yeah, he's coming off a couple monster games, 21, a 10, and then he goes over. Oh yeah, now he's ADP 34. And you could argue that tonight's a better spot than yesterday's spot. Dub City's in here. Coach Nez, what up? Hanging out with us in here, drafting from the 4-hole. Bogey Berra coming in. That the UD projections early in the day inflated the Cubs this morning because they had, I saw that as well. The Cubs had some, 14s and 15s in terms of projection. So, yeah. We got some other friends in here. John Liddell's always hanging out. So is Turbotron. BAAB. Say what up if you're hanging out. Ricky, say what up if you're hanging out in this draft. What else we got in here? Austin saying you got a 3rd place team through in the Albatross. That's good to check, guys. I believe the cut line was like 580-ish points in the Albatross. 5 something. Michael said Michael's giving away the alpha. He says, I like to draft the triple play when you guys have your show because it keeps the sharks away because they're all hanging out here. Respect it. Respect it. That's the game within the game right there. Egger's telling me it was 591 was the cut line. 621 in the big Albatross. So reminder to everyone, when there's overlay in best ball contests, it brings the advancing teams down because we still advance the same amount of teams, right? So you have to make up for those drafts that never took place. So now you get some teams that, didn't finish first in their pod that get to now advance. All right. I know Nez likes
Who?
Texas today. I was gonna say you like Wyatt Langford here.
Yeah, let's go Langford and Webb.
I like it. That's what I was gonna do for you as well. So there we go. Yeah,
Let's
good to see
go.
Wyatt Langford coming back and hitting well to start. Just need a jolt in that Texas lineup.
Yeah, and they're gonna probably lose Seager for a couple weeks too, so that sucks.
Is that the sounds of it?
It is a hamstring, and he was
Yeah.
kind of walking gingerly. And I mean, I just read this today. Seager apparently is injury prone. Yeah, I can imagine he's probably gonna miss some time.
Score one for the models, projecting him for 138 games yet again.
Damn it, so too good.
Wow, these models are they're impeccable.
John, I'm
Oh,
pretty upset that you're. I mean, I get it, right? We need extra time for this to fill. I'm just making a broader point that your Mariners are not on our slate today.
Yeah, the classic daytime diamond dynamic with having a night slate, but I would have really liked to have seen that game on the slate because both of those teams would be fun offenses to draft today.
Yeah, I think we got Hancock on the mound for
Yeah.
the M's. Uh-oh.
Oh, here comes three crooked numbers in the first 3 innings. He settled down last time out after getting knocked around a little bit. But yeah, lefties are going to play well there for Boston. And lefty killer of all lefty killers is is going to be leading off against Sean Newcomb in Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore is fucking Mike Trout. He is the Patrick Wisdom. He's the Patrick Wisdom of my generation against lefties there, dude.
I'm gonna build something crazy then for the people.
I respect it. What do you think about that Pittsburgh mini you were talking about?
Oh, hell yeah.
Feels kind of nice to do like an O'Neill Cruz here. I was talking about getting like Rake Burger into our lives. We could do a little Rake Burger here. Let's get Rake. Not to be confused with Rake Bowers or Rake Lamb, but
or Rake Wilson.
Or Rake Wilson. Nice.
I had to get that one in there.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we see, a little bit of Toronto stuff going down here. I will remind everyone that Teoscar Hernandez is a fucking lefty killer. Teo's ADP is way too low today, in my opinion. Teo should be getting paired with some of these upper echelon Dodgers at a decent frequency. I like him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely slept on right now. It's just like it's so weird. Like anytime that he doesn't immediately do something, he really becomes cheap in these drafts. Especially when Ohtani's the 102 today. It's kind of interesting.
Agreed with you. And especially when they put up fucking 9 runs yesterday and everybody's like, can we draft Will Smith instead? It's like, yeah, he homered yesterday. He's way better.
That's exactly how they think, though.
Yeah, it's true. Another good one that someone brought up in the chat there was Zach Neto's ADP juxtaposed to today and yesterday. Byron Buxton's the same way. Yeah. I'm just thinking about some potential rest spots here. Because Wednesday is a classic getaway day. We are blessed with a Wednesday slate that has 8 games on it, which is abnormal for us for baseball because normally the daytime diamond takes up more. We have day games after night games tomorrow for Chicago and Minnesota, for Colorado and KC, for Milwaukee and San Francisco, and for Seattle and Boston, who aren't on our slate. But that's noteworthy that 3 of these 8 games are going to have day games after night games. So you could see guys taken out a little bit earlier. You could see some backup catchers. You could see some of that kind of funny business there. Pittsburgh and Los Angeles go in the evening. Tampa and Arizona in the evening, and Texas and Athletics in the evening tomorrow. So a little less worried about those potential ones there. Nez, are we going to land this plane with 2 Pirates, or are we going to land this plane with another Texas piece as well?
Let's go Texas.
Brian Reynolds was already drafted as well.
Adolis. I mean, sorry, I know it's not a scroll.
Okay.
We can do young as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to do a 4-stack on stream because it's kind of boring, but I'm
It's not
fine
boring.
with
It's
it.
not boring when winning $3,000 or $2,500 is boring. Come on, do it and Manuel.
Okay.
You're drafting. Oh, did you see who took Brian Reynolds? You wonder why you're not getting Brian Reynolds.
Was it the Dub City King himself?
Damn straight.
Yeah, there you go. At pick 16. I got to be sharper than that to know that I'm in a Papa Nez room. He took him in front of O'Neal Cruz, actually. So that's my bad there. You know, I tried to build out a stack that he was already building, and he
There's
goes,
his
buddy.
mini. There's his Cubs
Yeah.
mini. I was waiting for a stack. It's embarrassing me on stream.
Papa Nez is saying, stay in your lane, boy, by taking O'Neal Cruz away from me. Oh, that's good stuff. He's heating up. He is heating up indeed. Yeah, Luis Renjifo. Yeah, Grand Papa Nez. Yeah, that's a good point. Got to put a little respect on that name.
Coach Nez.
Yeah, I love Dylan Moore against Levy's. Also, Luis Renjifo bashes them too. It's a great point. And Luis Renjifo gets one this evening. So yeah. Turbotron did that Toronto stack, as you were alluding to there, and then professional ass pitcher Michael Lorenzen. Yeah, some sharp, intelligently built teams out here in the baseball streets. Let's go ahead, Nez, and do one puck one to satisfy GA and the Puck Bros. One of these 3-game wraparound Wednesdays. I've been watching a lot of playoff puck in recent memory. It's been really fun. It's been a very great start to the postseason. Here we have Edmonton and LA on the slate, who went nuke last time out. LA blew a 4-goal lead to make it 5-5 with, like, I don't know, 35, 40 seconds left. And then they made good on it by scoring a 6th in regulation. Didn't go to overtime. Dallas knotted that series up at 1 against Colorado by taking them to overtime and taking another one on home ice there. And then Montreal versus Washington. This is game 2 here after OV got his first ever. Couldn't believe it. First ever playoff overtime winning goal there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
The playoff puck has been living up to the hype. There was one, I think last night there was a pretty massive blowout, right?
Yeah, Florida was up pretty good early on Tampa there and took care of business. I think they were up 5-2 at one point, something like that. That was actually the game I watched the least of, just because of, you know, what we were overlapping and watching. But yeah.
Yeah, so this one here, McDust.
I see you sharing something in the chat. Can you share it in the private chat for me too?
Yeah, I think you might like it.
Perfect. We'll take a little peek at that. We got Respooked in here. We got I Like Kitties. We got Stevens in here. We got AJ's in here. And we got B Smurf coming in saying he joined, but he doesn't know puck. Well, you're about to learn some, my friend. About to learn some.
It's too easy. Too easy.
Yeah, Nez is dusting off the model for me to tell me all the best plays as I bring up the pick'em that he just shared in the chat. For some reason, it's not working.
Oh, what?
Was it a slider? Let's see. I'll click it.
Is there? Let me see. Is it working for anybody else? Oh wow, that is absolutely not what you want. Sorry guys. Give me a damn second here. I'll get it. I'll get it back.
Okay.
That's not it.
That is the home screen.
That is the link to get to underdogfantasy.com/pick'em. Jesus. Here we go. That's coming your way too.
Okay, cool. McCaden goes first here. GA's telling me never McDust. McDust had 4 points. He had 4 points in game 1. He had 5 hits to go alongside it. He single-handedly brought that team back on his own, but who should I take?
I mean, Ovi, dude. Bands will make her dance.
All right, bands are making a dance. Tonight, Ovi with 2 bingos last time out, one from his office and one in front of the net there from Bolivier. in overtime. I'm going to pivot the brand over for 1 second here. Nez Takes cooked up a 3 home run one for us. 3 home run, and then he added Andrew Heaney for some reason.
It correlates with Cruz.
It correlates with Cruz. It absolutely does.
Oh, they took. Wait, are you missing? Dang, I thought this was 189. Did they?
It's 157 for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take this Andrew Heaney one.
Oh, you're. Sheesh.
3 home runs. If I get 3 home runs from these guys, the last thing in the world I want to be sweating is the chalk stack not killing Andrew Heaney.
Oh my God! The chalk stack. Since when did we respect chalk? Unbelievable.
There we go. So there we go. I'm gonna add the 3-1 in there too. If you guys want to play the 3-1 instead. Des, I'm gonna flip back over to the draft here. Let's see what's going down in the puck streets. Draisaitl goes in front of McDavid. Cale Makar and Martin Necas goes together there. Nichushkin goes. We got some Montreal stuff happening. We could take like Strome or something and start a Washington thing. We could take
you want to
Nico.
stack right now? You think Respooked will let us have Tom?
I don't really want Tom anyways, but let's take Fiala. Let's take Fiala. Fiala's been nice.
I don't think you liked Fiala.
No, I always like Fiala. Fiala's the guy I like. Yeah. Let's take Fiala, and then we'll find like a contrarian stack with like Ovi, or we'll take like Strome. I'd rather stack Strome than Tom Wilson.
What about Spittin' Chikrin?
Yeah, we could do Chikrin too. Chikrin's he's defenseman number 3. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Do Chikrin here.
Yeah. And then lock it up. Turn off the yellow button.
Yeah, we'll turn off the yellow after Chikrin. It's interesting. Washington, one of those teams that's been running 2 defensemen on the power play, which is just interesting in general. So like Carlson and Chikrin were PP1 in game 1. So just something that they do that, is kind of fallen by the wayside in puck in the past, or puck of the past was more reliant on it. Now a lot of, power play 1 is 4 forwards, 1 D-man. But they're opting to go the 2 D-man route, which is cool. Trying to think through who we could do some Fiala with, because Byfield went right beside us, which is super annoying. In the 1 hole there, Respook took Byfield right after we took Fiala. I wanted to do that kind of same line stack.
Bastard.
Yeah, goalies just went nuke there. We're the only team without a goalie left. That's crazy.
That's what you want to be. That's where you want to be.
And we literally got the best one. We got Kemper. Big Dars, buddy. Kemper. Yeah, this is exactly where we want to be, Nez. Do you want to build out another stack? Do you want to do some LA? Do you want to tack on, Strome to Ovi? What do you like?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a Ovi stacked up.
All right. So we could take Dylan Strome here, stack that up. We don't have to take goalie until the last pick. So we should probably build a little 2-man stack, right? Or are we running out of spots? Shit, we're gonna have a one-off unless we take an LA piece. So we could do.
Tom Wilson that bad of a pick?
No, he's fine.
Just too heavy.
You're just an ADP slop, dude. Nah, Tom Wilson's just like a guy who does it across multiple categories. He's really good at getting you 8 fantasy points.
Miko, what about Miko going into the elevation, trying to steal one?
Yeah, going back home. Yeah, going back home, eh?
A little rupee.
Oh, Blake with an evergreen reminder that we didn't have to take the center because he already had 2 centers on the end. Classic fish move by John. Still fucking up on stream after all these years. I mean, like, Miko's fun. It's fine. He's probably the best available player. I'm trying to win a GPP out here, Nez.
Yeah.
It's Puck,
Well,
dude.
Do the one off star then. That's a great way to.
Let's do Anzi.
All right.
Let's do Anzi. PP1 with Fiala, not overlapped on their normal lines. Let's get out there. PP1. Then we'll have Darcy in that. We got a little Washington plus LA cook in there. Ovi, Fiala, Chikrin, Strome, Anzi, and Darcy in that. Oopsie. Not bad. Not bad. Gonna push the plane on that one and then call it a show here, Nez. So we can get in the mud. We can get in the weeds with one of Underdog's own this afternoon. That show will hopefully be out real soon for you guys. If not the next couple days, over the weekend for sure. Gonna dive into the state of the games and what is going on at Underdog and what the roadmap for the future of draft games looks like. Looking really forward to that one here. Best of luck to everybody in the NBA streets, taking down Sam Wilson, back-to-back champ. How can we possibly beat this man? He is too good. And then good luck in the Puck streets. Good luck in the MLB streets. And yeah, I wonder, is Daytime Diamond over yet, Nez?
I think it's still going. I mean, it's over for me, but
nice.
Yeah, Phillies Mets are in overtime.
Ooh.
And Just Brett wins with a one-off Justin Henry Malloy.
Nice. Someone did say that in the chat earlier today. Might have been, I can't remember who said it now. Someone said it in the Discord earlier. Justin Henry Malloy. When I said, what did I say? I said that I wanted to get to Nolan Gorman. I was like, Gorman's going to hit 2 home runs or 3 home runs. Nolan Gorman ends the day with 5 fantasy points. And whoever was way smarter than me in the Discord told me to play Justin Henry Malloy instead. And he has 26 fantasy points and breaks the slate there. Reese Olson with 19 fantasy points going up against the Slam Diego Padres, who were not slamming today. Your boy had a top 40 lineup there and broke even, but nothing to write home about there. Last words for the people, Nez.
I'll see you in the lobbies for sure.
Those are some good last words.
Some are saying they're legendary.
All right, go check out that Underdog BBM logo. Check out the payout structure when it drops shortly here. Check out our stream later when we drop that. We'll be back tomorrow for more of the same, talking some slates, breaking down some slates on the platform of people, Underdog Fantasy. Everybody's favorite time on the show. Hit that like, subscribe, notification. Tell your friends that we exist. Everybody's favorite time on the show. The end. Peace.